So what's the problem? The future is amazing. The technological opportunity is astounding. The rate of advance, unprecedented. And yet, where we are today, just a few hundred miles away, there's war before our eyes. Tens of thousands being slaughtered. We have war in Palestine, we have war in Lebanon, we have war in Sudan, we have war in South Sudan, we have war in Yemen, we have war in Ukraine. What is happening that we're in the midst of the greatest advance of knowledge in history, and yet we also feel we're at the edge of the precipice? And indeed, the doomsday clock of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists tells us we're 90 seconds to midnight to nuclear disaster. I have one basic proposition for us, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need artificial intelligence in war. We need human intelligence to stop the wars. We don't need more smart weapons. We need negotiations. We had a wonderful panel, but the panel we really need is President Biden, President Putin, and President Xi Jinping, and your crown prince and others sitting around the table to say we can't go on this way. We're going to destroy ourselves with all of this wonderful technology. We're not doing the most basic things that we need to do. And this is a room filled with people who can do those things or make them happen, who can talk to the politicians, who can fund the changes that are needed. We have a basic core concept that I just want to share in just a couple of minutes: sustainable development. It means we have not only the great economic advances and the wealth, and that's no doubt we have that, but that it also reaches people everywhere, not just a small part of the world, everywhere. And that it's done in an environmentally sound way, not like last year, which was the warmest year on Earth in 130,000 years. We know that. We're wrecking the planet with all of this great economic advance unless we change course. And the fourth pillar, in addition to the economic, the social, and the environmental, is peace. And we're the worst at this. What does peace come from? One simple idea: mutual respect, honesty, not trying to run the world or to dominate others. That's the basic point that we're missing right now. Why is there war in Gaza and in Lebanon and possibly spreading to Iran and further in this region? Because there's no state of Palestine, obviously. Because Israel blocks it, the United States blocks it, and until there is, there's going to be no peace in the region. It's obvious. So do we have to go another 57 years of the 57 years we've just gone with the occupied lands? We had the International Court of Justice tell us it's illegal for Israel to be doing this. So where are the political leaders to say, come on, we know what to do, it's obvious. No more process, no more negotiations. A state of Palestine, a state of Israel living side by side in peace according to international law. Not so complicated. Why is there ongoing war in Ukraine? because the United States insisted we need NATO there. And Russia said, please, not on our border. No, we need NATO there. Russia said, please, not on our border. And the United States said, it's none of your business. And Russia said, we'll see to that. It's our border, not your border. And so now we have a war. That war could end today if the President of the United States picked up the phone, called his counterpart and said, President Putin, we won't expand NATO. You stop fighting, we don't expand NATO. It's the end of that war. It's not complicated, ladies and gentlemen. Why do we have the U.S.-China conflict? Because the U.S. doesn't like China being so big and large and successful. Well, come on, there's room in the world for everybody. It's not a zero-sum game. The U.S. doesn't have to run the show everywhere. But now the U.S. sends armaments, billions of dollars to Taiwan, which, by the way, is part of China. How would any country like it if another country is arming a part of its country against its sovereign wishes? It's going to lead to world war if we don't have some human intelligence in this. And then a final point on the economics. There's a very nice saying by a science fiction writer, William Gibson, that I'm sure many of you have heard of, who said, the future is already here, just not evenly. And what he meant was, yes, in a world of dazzling change, you can find the places. We heard about some of the places at the panel. Dazzling applications of autonomous driving, of artificial intelligence, of all the technological advances, no doubt. But they're not reaching most of the world. Let me give you one little factoid for the people who manage the trillions of dollars of money. There are 26 low-income countries in the world, according to the World Bank classification. There are 50 lower middle-income countries. You add up those 76 countries, they have 4 billion people in them, half the world. You know, of those 76 low and lower middle-income countries, how many have an investment-grade credit rating of the 76? Two of those 76 countries. India and the Philippines, that's it. So when we heard Mr. Quinn say our job as bankers is to finance development everywhere, they're not touching 74 countries with nearly half the world's population because the credit ratings say, no, that's speculative grade, that's junk grade. So what kind of world are we building? We're building a world of increasing wealth, no doubt, of increasing technology, no doubt, and of shocking inequalities that are unimaginable. And then we wonder where the unrest, the instability, the violence, the wars come from, because we're not thinking of others. I very much appreciated Mr. Griffin saying how central education is. I can tell you as a development economist, there's no question that the highest return investment in the world, and I mean it financially, is to put a child through school. It's got about a 20 to 22% compound annual return. What wonderful investment. Do you know that there are 300 million kids school age not in school right now because they're living in impoverished places nearby here, by the way, nearby, that don't have that return? No one's investing in them. So please, ladies and gentlemen, we can make the future that we want. We can see this wonderful world benefiting from these advances of knowledge and science and technology. It's not even that hard, but for that we truly need decency, mutual respect, and human intelligence. Thank you very much.